welcome to our video today about fossils. My name is Donna Hanna and I'm an education intern at the Lehigh Gap Nature Center, and today I have a very special guest with me.
Hi everyone, I'm Caitlin and I am a Lafayette College geologist.
And today we're going to talk about all of the cool fossils here in our very own geology building. So Caitlin, what is a fossil?
A fossil is a trace of a living organism that lived a really long time ago that's preserved in a rock.
Fossils are formed when animal skeletons are buried by small particles of rock called sediment. And as more layers of sediment build up, the sediment around the skeleton compacts and turns to rock. The skeleton then gets dissolved by water coming through the rock, and the minerals in the water will replace the bones and leave a rock copy, which is the fossil. And fossils are usually found in sedimentary rocks and can be located in rivers, forests, mountains, oceans, and even in your own backyard.
Today we have some very cool examples of fossils that we're going to be going through. So to start, what is this fossil?
This fossil is called a trilobite. So a trilobite is a really old animal called an arthropod, and an arthropod is really similar to a lobster or a spider, but trilobites are actually extinct right now. So trilobites lived from the early Cambrian, which was approximately 520 million years ago, until the mid-Permian, which is about 200 million years ago. And they used to swim around in the ocean just like how lobsters or fish would, and they used to be pretty good predators too.
Awesome. Personally, my favorite fossil is a trilobite.
Would you look at that?
Yep.
And show them.
Yeah.
That's a trilobite.
That is a trilobite. So, speaking of really old fossils, over here I have some bivalve imprints. And a bivalve is a dual-shelled organism like oysters and mollusks, and they appeared around the mid-Cambrian, which was around 500 to 510 million years ago. And what is really cool about them is that they're still around today, and you could find them in places like creeks, rivers, and even at the beach.
Next up, we have an ammonite, which is a type of cephalopod. So a cephalopod is like an octopus or a squid. So the parts that have squid, this might look like a shell, but the squid parts would be out of here, so it would have tentacles coming out of here. And ammonites were around in the Devonian to the end of the Cretaceous. So a Devonian-aged rock, or a fossil, is about 400 million years old, and the end of the Cretaceous was actually 66 million years old. So these are kind of young compared to the other rocks we're looking at. So an ammonite used to be a really big predator in the ocean. So they were eating things like plankton and crustaceans, which are like really old crabs.
Next, we have a personal favorite, which is coral. So coral first appeared in the Ordovician period 485 million years ago. And just like the bivalves that we looked at earlier, they're still around today. And a very important thing about coral is that they're an integral member of our food chain, and a lot of ecosystems depend on coral. So Caitlin, what is this fossil?
So this is actually another imprint of a fern, and a fern is a plant that originated in the Carboniferous age, which is about 370 million years ago.
A very cool thing about ferns is that they're a part of a very ancient family of plants, and the way that we get these imprints is they fall onto sediment and then are pressed down. You may be wondering, fossils are super cool, but why are they important?
So fossils are really important to geologists because they help us figure out about ancient environments during different times, and they also help us figure out what happened when, so we get a good timeline of the Earth.
Fossils are also super important to understand plant and animal evolution and to learn about what adaptations plants and animals had to their environment. Thank you for watching our video. We hope you learned a bunch about fossils.
Rock on!
Bye!